Thanos versus Darkseid Ultimate Power Breakdown. Who would prevail if two of the most feared cosmic entities clashed in an epic battle? This is not just a question of strength or tactics, it's the meeting of two dark forces, each capable of rendering entire universes obsolete. Prepare yourselves, comic fans, as we take you on a spine-chilling exploration of Thanos and Darkseid, dissecting these terrifying characters, their powers and motivations, and answering the immortal question, who would win? Before we get into the depths of their terrifying abilities, let's meet the combatants that inhabit the nightmares of heroes across their respective universes. Thanos, the Mad Titan, a master tactician, an unstoppable force, and a philosopher of destruction, Thanos is infamous for wielding the Infinity Gauntlet, a weapon of unimaginable power that bent all of creation to his will. But he is not just about brute force. His mind is sharp, his goals are focused, and his resolve unshakable. Darkseid, the shadowy overlord of Apocalypse. As the ruler of one of the darkest corners of the DC universe, Darkseid embodies the very concept of tyranny. He possesses godlike power and wields the devastating Omega beams. Both are amongst the most dangerous beings in their universes. Both have brought heroes to their knees. Both are feared across galaxies. Thanos is more than a villain. He is a force of nature. Standing as the ultimate manipulator, he is willing to destroy civilizations to achieve his twisted vision of balance. Let's unravel the powers that make him such a terrifying combatant. Physically, Thanos is an absolute beast. His superhuman strength outmatches nearly all those who challenge him. Heroes like the Hulk and Thor have fallen to his fists. His durability is unnerving. Whether it's enduring energy blasts or physical attacks, Thanos is almost invulnerable. It isn't just his body that's dangerous, it's his mind. Thanos is a supreme strategist capable of planning battles years, even centuries ahead. He knows when to fight and when to manipulate, bending even the mightiest to serve his goals. But all of this pales before the Infinity Gauntlet. With all 6 Infinity Stones, he becomes a god. Reality, time, space, power, mind, and soul all bow to his will. With a snap of his fingers, he once wiped out half of all life in the universe. This terrifying display of ultimate power is burned into the memories of comic fans everywhere. However, Thanos' motivations are as chilling as his abilities. He is not driven by material greed or anger, but by the belief that his actions serve a greater good. Perfect balance fuels his carnage, and that conviction makes him utterly relentless. If Thanos is a force of nature, then Darkseid is the void, an inescapable black hole of power, despair, and terror. His shadow stretches far beyond Apocalypse, striking fear into the hearts of gods and mortals alike. Darkseid's strength is not just immense, it is godlike. While others rely on weapons or tools, Darkseid's own power makes him a threat to the cosmos. His durability is legendary. No mortal weapon can bring him down. His physical dominance is capped off with his Omega beams, a terrifying ability that can utterly vaporize opponents or trap their souls in endless torment. These beams are said to never miss their target, dodging space and time itself to strike their prey. But there's more to Darkseid than raw strength. His true power lies in his relentless pursuit of the anti-life equation, a formula that grants him the ability to control all free will across the multiverse. To Darkseid, this is not mere ambition, it is destiny. He sees himself as the rightful ruler of all existence, and his actions stem from his belief that only his iron rule can bring order. He's far from a one-man army, however. With Apocalypse and its technological horrors at his disposal, he commands legions of parademons and monstrous generals, ready to obliterate entire planets at his command. When comparing these two juggernauts of destruction, the lines blur between where their strengths begin and their weaknesses end. Thanos towers over his enemies with a unique combination of physicality and intelligence that is rarely matched. His mastery of the Infinity Gauntlet makes him capable of bending all known reality to his will, allowing him to erase the very fabric of existence itself. And yet, even without the gauntlet, his brute strength, near immortality, and resourcefulness render him a god among mortals. Darkseid, however, thrives in dimensions even Thanos may find hard to comprehend. His Omega beams are a force of pure nightmare fuel, utterly obliterating whatever they touch. And while Thanos relies on tools like the Gauntlet, Darkseid's strength is more natural, a byproduct of his very essence as a new god. His hunt for the anti-life equation only adds to his menace, as the control of all sentient beings beckons him closer with every encounter. Darkseid doesn't just break his enemies physically, he crushes their minds and wills, rendering entire civilizations powerless. No force, no matter how terrifying, is without its vulnerabilities. Thanos, for all his brilliance, falls victim to one critical flaw: hubris. His sense of superiority often blinds him to the potential of those who oppose him. Without the Infinity Gauntlet, his powers, though staggering, are decidedly more manageable for some of Marvel's powerful heroes. His paranoia and overconfidence have cost him victory in the past. Darkseid, while seemingly omnipotent, is not invincible. Bound by the Source Wall, he exists as a universal constant, unable to fully escape his connection to the multiverse's fundamental rules. Additionally, his arrogance leads him to underestimate foes, allowing those like Superman and Orion to occasionally topple him. Let's paint a vivid picture of the potential face-off between Thanos and Darkseid. Prepare yourself, dear viewers, for this is not for the faint of heart. Scenario 1. Thanos wields the Infinity Gauntlet. Against the raw power of the Omega Beams, the Gauntlet shields Thanos, blocking Darkseid's most potent attacks. In return, Thanos warps reality around Darkseid, attempting to trap him in a nightmare of chaos. But Darkseid is unflinching, his Omega Beams eventually finding their way to the heart of the Mad Titan. Thanos, even with godlike power, begins to crack under the absolute will of the Lord of Apocalypse. Scenario 2. Without the Gauntlet, Thanos must rely on brawn and intellect. The battle descends into hand-to-hand combat, each titanic blow shaking the cosmos to its core. This is an evenly matched brawl, one of cunning versus ruthlessness. Darkseid's Omega Beams are a constant threat, yet Thanos counters with resourcefulness, outmaneuvering Darkseid and exploiting gaps in his confidence. Scenario 3. The ambitions of both escalate. The anti-life equation clashes with the Infinity Gauntlet. The battle unfolds across realities, affecting entire galaxies. It is no longer a struggle for survival, but for existential control. Both are relentless, both escalating their powers until the question remains: would nature succumb to tyranny, or would the void consume balance? Power means nothing without the purpose that drives it. For Thanos, his terrifying actions are always aimed at achieving balance. Despite his methods, he believes the destruction he causes is ultimately righteous, leaving behind what he sees as order. Darkseid's ideology is far darker. His hunger is not for balance or righteousness, but to control. He seeks to erase free will across all realities, to bend life into submission. His philosophy is one of crushing all opposition, of making existence itself tremble under the shadow of his will. Their clash is more than an epic physical battle. It is a war of ideologies, a battle between twisted altruism and unyielding tyranny. For decades, fans of Marvel and DC have passionately debated the outcome of this clash. Iconic panels and issues have added fuel to the fire, providing glimpses of these characters' terrifying power levels. Yet the fan base remains divided. Thanos' cunning and the sheer unbridled potential of the Infinity Gauntlet often place him in the lead, while Darkseid's status as a literal god and his relentless hunger for dominion leave others convinced of his supremacy. So who truly reigns supreme? Thanos with his relentless pursuit of balance, armed with intellect and devastating tools? Or Darkseid, the embodiment of tyranny who bends the multiverse itself to his will? Ultimately, this battle comes down to your perspective on power. Does intelligence paired with lethal tools defeat the raw, unfiltered might of a godlike entity? Or does the intangible darkness of domination drown even the most resilient of conquerors? The answer, dear viewers, is yours to decide. As darkness looms, two cosmic titans await your judgment. Who do you think emerges victorious? Let us know in the comments. And as always, beware the shadows where these forces may be lurking, waiting to cement their hold on our universe.